Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Look. Somewhere sunny. Sweating with 2 spritz in my tummy. I mean ravioli and a pizza with the honey. I'm O for the week, you dummy.
Ooh. Yeah, baby. Welcome back to the Koopa, to the Mark, to the Guy, the Fry, the Lie, and the Goodbye. But we're only gonna say that at the end, not right now. Today we're doing mushroom time. And on our podcast time, we are talking about misunderstandings, because that is indeed what is happening here in the Mushroom Land. If you don't recall, because I know it may have been a while for some of you guys, we're in the Ice Tower. We're not in the Ice Tower, we're in the Ice Realm. We're going to the Ice Tower. Probably next episode. But for here now, to get to the Ice Tower, we have to make the mushrooms make up and understand their misunderstandings, and I will get into some modern day misunderstandings to compare it to, because I know some of you dumbass gooner gamers don't know anything until I explain it in RPG terms. So that's what we're gonna do here. We got a blue, red, and a green, so we'll do that. We'll convince them with our bodies, and I will convince you with my words, just like you should do in real life. Instead of fighting people, try using them wordy things for once. For once in a while, please. Okay, anyways, let's get into the topic here. Essentially, today is June 30th, right at the end of Men's Mental Health Month. Yes, I guess it is also Ego Month. Whatever, man. Who cares? Be gay. Love dicks. I love it. Anyways, what we will be talking about today at the end of this month is the debacle with Pirate Software and the general arguments and misunderstandings going on there, because I believe it is a general misunderstanding. I believe there's no real right answers to the basically topic, but I know there is some disingenuousness going on, and once we just really peel back the layers of bullshit and detect what is truly happening here, I think it'll bring a lot of clarity. Maybe stop a couple of death threats, maybe possibly, because Mr. Poopy Software does have some goddamn points. Okay, so let's get into this. This misunderstanding here. First of all, I just want to say, this goes back to the thing I was talking about a while before, a couple episodes back. People don't value evolution, and people don't value when you evolve your mind, and suddenly the idea that I thought way back, maybe even a day ago, I don't think it anymore. People don't value that. People think you're an idiot. People will make fun of you, and I think doubling down should be seen as just as or even more stupid in some cases, because I feel like this is how the fall always happens. He's been hemorrhaging subscribers. He's been, dropping views on Twitch, but everybody's dropping monetization on Twitch or whatever and earning less. But then I feel like it's all just because you have too much ego and not as much humility, and you don't realize that what you're fighting for, is just not the way to fight for it. So anyways, I think Pirate Software is a game developer, quite unlike myself. I used to make games back in the day. You can see some of the ones I've published if you just look up Magic Koopa Mark on the Mario Fan Games Galaxy, one of the most goated websites. One of the first websites I ever, legit, real deal, had never been on. So I have made games before. I kind of know a little bit about source code and development, elementary amount, because I will admit I haven't touched a video game editing software in quite a while. So there's definitely been some updates to Game Maker, which is what I used to use. Definitely been some updates to Unreal, so I used to use as well. So whatever's happening in the gaming industry, I have a little bit of knowledge there. I'll just let you know that, as far as my experience. But we'll get out of my experience, because honestly, it's not really necessary. This is a nuanced conversation, but the problem with Pirate Software is he intentionally misleads the conversation with looking at gaming and software as an art form. He intentionally misleads it and says, you're coming in and you're trying to destroy my art. essentially. I mean, like, I don't see why this argument will be made in any other way, personally, other than the concept that this will somehow hurt Pirate Software in his game development. I feel like that's why. You know, that's the only real reason why it would make logical sense to make this argument. And I feel like Pirate Software kind of, you know, pledges himself on being a logical, calm, forward-thinking guy. I will admit I never watched any of his streams before, but I did watch a couple of his little tutorials. He's like an informative guy. So this is weird for me, just because, you know, I didn't even know he's still alive at this point. So this is really weird for me. This is like finding out if Tobuscus is, you know, crashing out or something. But that's a whole nother story for classic YouTubers. But essentially, the argument that he's having here, Mr. Pirate Software. I'm gonna try my best not to misrepresent him, but I'm not gonna look at any of his retarded tweets, or his long ass twit longer. Bro wrote a fucking book, right? All to defend MMOs from being turned into basically single player all online services. You know, it's gonna oh no, disingenuous people from making more MMOs in the future, which I say good. Any MMO player thinking that they're not gonna make more MMOs in the future, but we will have every MMO last forever, I'm like, that good deal. Good deal. You know, and only the MMOs that want to last forever should be here now anyways. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that if a great new MMO comes out, I at least want to know how long it's gonna last if I'm really liking it. Or, I definitely want that shit to last forever, at least as long as I live. You know, so... Anyways, it's a very anti-gamer take that he's taking. A very pro-developer, and he explicitly states it in his statement. He's like, all the developers come up to me and they say I'm awesome. And I talked to Josh Strife Hayes, and we came to an agreement. And he wants to suck my dick. All right, chill. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little mad. But essentially, that's the argument, right? And to defend this, I will say, as a game developer, essentially having all of this shit available to the public don't sound good. Now, what I will say about this movement, the Stop Killing Games movement, is that it's not meant to be, you know, actual legal legislature. You know, it's meant to, you know, set the groundwork, set the stage for what will happen once, you know, the European government gets their hands on it, you know, and starts talking about this. It's meant to start the convo, if you will. And to start the convo, you know, to start the convo with all his wisdom, he just says, yeah, I have all this wisdom, fuck you. I'm not helping you. You're dumb. And I don't think that's cool. I think, you know, you're very low on the understanding of the games industry if you think you can just strike shit down like that and the gamers won't care. On any industry, really, because, like, if you have knowledge on the inside, you know, you kind of have to help that effort. You know what? Maybe I could compare this to, like, a different industry. Maybe I could compare this to, like, the food industry, right? Like if you were a cook in a kitchen, and they were talking about like you know, we don't know what's in this food. We gotta, like, release the recipes, and then you're all like, yeah, but if we release the recipes, all the art is gone, and all the all the magic of making the food is gone. You see where I'm coming from here, guys? So that's what Pirate Software is saying, and I agree with that. That's very scary to me. I know developers are weird. They put weird things in the source code. If you've ever, you know, watched those backlog battles, or, you know, backlog battles. I don't know what they're called. There's like an N64 channel that looks at, like, off places in N64 games. But, you know, in these games, there's a lot of hidden things in the code that just, in my eyes, probably shouldn't be seen by the light. Us game developers are even weirder than gamers, if you can imagine that. And, you know, sometimes they just have different things that they want to put in there, and it's also like the basic skeleton of something. It's as if I am, you know, making, let's say, like a cabinet, physical cabinet, you know what I'm saying, and I want to make more of them in the future, but then IKEA is like, you got to release the blueprints for that shit, you know what I'm saying? We need to know all the materials and all the shits and all the And I suppose that's a little bit of a different thing because, you know, to use the cabinet, you kind of like, you need to know what it is, but to play the game, you don't need to know how the code works. To eat the food, you don't need to know what a paprika is. So, I get it, but you know, at the same time, I'm already starting to dismantle it. And to dismantle it more, I will say, stop putting weird shit in the code. Stop putting weird shit in the code. Like, if your grandma ain't supposed to read it, then you ain't supposed to read it. And also, I feel like if you're afraid of some loser in his basement stealing your code and making a better game, you probably need to look at a different career, honestly, because you're not here for gaming. You're just here to get quick money and at a very easy way. And I feel like kicking those people out of the gaming industry isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Maybe we can have assholes in the food industry who just make food to gain a profit and, you know, sustain off of people. But I really view these games as art. I really view them as, you know, valuable sustenance for people. And I will tell you why. You see, the thing is, anything can be an art form, just like food or drawing, writing, running, boxing, exercising, you know, videography. Anything can really be an art form. As you can clearly see here, I'm making art forms with this game. So, when the argument becomes, don't take my games away, or don't take my game source code development privacy rights away, don't make us waste money by having us keep this game online forever, it becomes the argument of why can't I save my art, you know? I want to save my art for the future generation. But then it's the same argument for the gamers, which, you know, obviously there are more gamers than there are developers. Let's be real here. That's just how the industry works. So, if they're both art forms that are worth salvaging, who's to say what is more important than the other? Who's to say let's stop this conversation where it is because it's dog shit and developers deserve more rights? I'm not saying developers don't deserve more rights. I'm not saying this thing needs to be less thought about and it's fine the way it is. I'm saying like the arguments that he's actively putting up are just misunderstandings and intentional misunderstandings because of the double down and because of the fact that he's talked to, you know, Moist and Josh Strive Hayes, and he knows, like there's no way you can't be a smart guy and not know that, you know, I read the first paragraph of the blurb and then 2 paragraphs that are also in the screenshot that I'm showing you literally have the rebuttal to my problem. Like that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like you can't just. And I feel like that's why he's hemorrhaging subscribers, because he believes he built an echo chamber where everybody is super dumb and is just going to follow whatever the fuck he says. And he's got 2 million people behind him, so obviously some people are going to do that. Most people really aren't happy though, because crazy, right? We love games, crazy concept. And because we love games, having them and just being able to physically play them when we want to is appealing to us. I'll go ahead and name some examples, guys. Go ahead, be sad for this one. What was that one? Starfall. And then there was Concord too. But you know, I don't know, man. I like it. I like, you know, hero shooters. I play a lot of Overwatch when it first came out. You know, I bought it for $40. And then Overwatch 2 came out, and now we can't play it anymore. You know, Concord, why not? You know, I mean, like, Overwatch sucks now, so maybe I wanted to try it one day. Of course I did not. It was up for like seconds. You know, of course I didn't try it. You know, but just small examples like that. It's just like for someone who truly views gaming as an art form, as a hobby, as something they want to integrate into their life long term. You know, like I may not be yanking my hog my whole life, but I'll probably be playing video games. I'm gonna be real. You know. I remember somebody in high school was like, "When are you gonna stop playing video games?" It was a girl. It was a girl. He's like, "You think you're still gonna be playing video games when you're an adult?" I don't even know how old she said. She said 40 or something. I don't care. I hope I'm 80 years old with a controller in my hand. You know. Well, I hope there's cooler stuff to do at 80 years old than play video games. But you know, I honestly doubt it. The way this world's going, probably be like the latest TikTok trend: eat staples. Eat staples, become staple man. I don't know. But yeah, that's a general argument. It's just you know, you can't save the art. Oh no. The thing is, you don't want like the transparency and the help with the gaming industry, which is, you know, what we all want. You just want control, Mr. Pirate Software. I'm not gonna call him his real name because his real name is too cool. So I'm sorry. Yeah, Pirate Software, P Software, Poopy Software. There's my alarm right there. Sorry about that. Yeah, he don't want people to know what he's working on down in that source code dungeon. Or, you know, conversely, he's just worried about the money, which I highly doubt. Anyone with 2 million subscribers, good average viewers, if you're struggling with money, you need that financial audit guy, honestly. You really do, because you're probably a retard. He streams a lot too, so I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's the ease of access thing. He's like, I don't want to think about having my game online forever. And that's so fucked, man. Like, every game is tied to an online thing in some way. So we're just supposed to be like, yeah, whatever, I guess I'll just buy another game when this one dies in 10 years. I'm kind of disgusted by that fact. Especially when games are so expensive nowadays. Like, so expensive that I have to resort to playing this game non-fucking-stop. I'm playing this in, like, Digimon right now, but yeah, I have to resort to playing this game non-stop. Because, like what else is there? You know, you kind of have to lock into something and just become a slave willingly, and not truly give over your soul to the entirety of the gaming industry, and kind of just focus on your own general happiness instead of, you know, I used to be very much a proponent of sliding stuff over to the corpos and, you know, supporting Nintendo, you know, buying my new Xbox and shit. But now I'm just so drained and jaded. It's sad, but yeah. A lot of the gaming industry has turned into money-hungry fools because the money's just not coming there anymore because they're just not making good games. The jumps aren't as wide, and you have to realize gaming has been out here for not very long. Not very long at all. This industry developed way too fast. I feel like we should have stayed in the 8-bit era for a little longer. Maybe we should have had like a SNES 2. Imagine that, like Super Nintendo 2. You know, Super Nintendo lasted 7 years. You know, the Switch almost lasted double the amount of time. Almost double the amount of time that the SNES did. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Let me double check my facts on that. Because life is truly insane like that. Yeah, so roughly 1987, wait, what? Stuff released in Japan, okay, here it is. Japan released in 1990, North America in 1991. Okay, so SNES released in like 1990, and then when did 64 release? 96, yeah. 96. So, 91 to 96? It's like 4 or 5 years. I thought it was 4 years, though. Truly. I thought it was 4 years. But, yeah, 4 years. And then the Switch lasted about 7 to 8. And, yeah, the jumps just aren't as cool, as flashy, as you know, previous generations. And so because of that, we have to hold as like, oh no, we're not gonna make money anymore, or as much as we were before, because people are like, no, games are dying, but the industry is up on all fronts. And this is a funny thing that a lot of people keep doing, even with like the movie industry and stuff like that. Like Disney's dying, but you realize how far Disney has to fall to actually like make a dent in their profits, right? You realize how far Nintendo has to fall to like make a dent in their profits, right? And there's no way they're gonna fall because they keep making amazing games like this. You know, Square Enix holding it down. I think this one just came out on the Switch 2, right? So now you can play Dragon Quest X on your Switch 2, and there's been some glitches already. There's been some glitches. I looked on the damn app, and they're like, hey, we know your save's not working. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Save's not working on the Switch 2, don't worry about it. Just play it on the Switch 1, and then we'll fix it later. Don't worry about it. Oh my god. Shit is crazy, though. And you have to realize that they really don't need your undying support for this bullshit. And I think Pirate Software did realize that. He's like, fuck what's actually right. The game industry does not need my support. I'm indie. I'm indie in whatever boat I have. You know, I'm basically not even in the games industry. That's essentially his thoughts. So, because of that, I'm just gonna lie to these motherfuckers. You know, my words don't even matter, but my influence does. So, who gives a shitty, witty, litty titty, as long as something doesn't pass to make my job harder in the future? Isn't that great, huh? Who gives a fuck about anybody else, right? Absolutely disgusting. Guys, if you are in the UK, please sign this petition. I know I do not have a lot of UK viewers. I have mostly Japan and mostly United States. And then strangely enough, it's like Russia in third. So I guess is Russia United Kingdom? I think Russia's Europe. But yeah, a lot of my videos actually get blocked in Russia territories, and I don't care. I still upload them. So I apologize for you guys who just, you know, can't watch those. Very awkward this moment we have here. But I'm glad you're here for this one, if you are. Because it's a very important time to lock in, sign that petition. I'll probably link to it in this one, just so, you know, we're all clear on here on what we're doing. We're signing petitions. I would if I was in Europe, but I'm not. So, you know, I got, you know, like one Europe friend that I sent it to, and then that's it. You know, we do our part. But I think this is a good initiative. The kingdom's pretty good at following through on things like this. So essentially, once this misunderstanding gets, you know, kind of settled, maybe things like this will change and happen. But who knows? And also, it's June 30th right now. I don't even know if this petition is going to be up by the time I upload this. So if it's not, oh well. I just kind of wanted to talk about the situation because I feel like I had a little bit of nuance to share. Being a classical developer back in the days, you know, I just made shitty little maze games. It's nothing crazy, but I understand the concept of wanting to keep your source code together. The concept of not wanting to release the framework of something that you built. Like it feels bad, man. It feels bad, man. Especially when you think some loser who didn't do any of the groundwork or anything is just gonna come in and make something way better or more popular than you. And that's the whole envy thing. That's the whole non-abundance mindset, thinking you can't make something better. And that's so annoying about the evolution of life. Like, people even treat game developers like this. Like the GTA developer guy. I was just watching the documentary on the shitty game that he made, Mind's Eye, that just released a couple weeks ago. He just got an update to that one too, and it's still ass. But yeah, nobody respects the evolution. He tried to make an entirely different game from GTA. And then everybody was like, wait a minute, I smell GTA. Is there some GTA in that trailer? And then they were like, okay guys, we'll make a GTA. It's fine, we'll make a GTA. They've completely flopped on their other idea and put GTA at the forefront, and guess what? That bit them in the ass because they didn't want to evolve. Well, I mean, they wanted to evolve, but the people didn't want them to evolve. Everybody kept wanting GTA 6 from him. He's like, I don't want GTA 6 from these $100 gooners. Fuck you, Rockstar, I want it from him. And so he gave them Mind's Eye, and everybody was like, well, this is ass. I don't know why I wanted this from you. So, moral of the story is, I don't make these videos, I don't make this video. I don't make these videos, I don't make this video, I don't make that video, I don't make any of these videos for anyone. Except for me. Number one, uno. And I feel like that makes them not only more pleasurable to watch for myself, but I feel like just in general makes it more enjoyable to watch for people who want to make videos for themselves, for people who value evolution, for people who value thought. If you value thinking, you're in the right place. Because that's mostly what we do here. We think and we smoke mushrooms. And we're almost done with this one, so once again, sign that petition. I love you guys. Please subscribe too, because I need money. I'd like to stream as well. We get to stream at 50 subscribers. We're gonna open up a bunch of tickets. We're gonna pop some flowers, get some money. It's gonna be fun. We'll have a giant money stream. I might even do some Suko as well. We do that. But I want to stream on YouTube. I'll probably open up a Kick account too, because Twitch is kind of being weird right now, as it does. I did like growing my Twitch following on there. I did like Justin TV. I did like all the stuff from before. It was nice. But I'm gonna be different from people. I'm gonna value my evolution, and go where I'm loved, go where I'm accepted. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to the real place, the real location. I know Kick sounds like a weird website to stream on, though. At least to me, Kick. I remember Kick like for some reason Kick is reminding me of Yik Yak, or what was that other chat that everybody used to like send sexual shit on? Yik Yak was a proximity chat from back in the day for like colleges and stuff. Used to use it for my community college to find out where the drugs were. Yeah, so good times. But yeah, that's what Kick reminds me of. I think you can do illegal activities on there though, so I'll probably be smoking on stream. That's usually what I do. I smoke, I work out, I play Dragon Quest. There's really not much else. There was a lot of gooning before. There's a slightly less gooning now. Slightly less. So, it's a road we're walking down. And every time you gotta bounce to the next one, do not be ashamed. Because I remember I've had to switch course in my life a lot of times. And now I found something that kind of works. And I'm attached to it, sure, right? But I know there are an endless amount of possibilities where this could go to make it either better or worse. And you know what I'm gonna do to suffice for that? I'm gonna say, here's my brain. I'm just gonna click that off, and we're just gonna move that way. You guys did not see which way I pointed, but you don't need to. We're just moving. And I hope you realize that I will keep moving. I don't care if you're here or not. So, leave, come back, and you'll see, oh, he's in a different place now. And that's all I really value about life. It's all about legacy for me. I want things to be here when I'm gone, because I don't want to be here right fucking now. But I want to help people. I do want to help people. There are people who do want to be here. And I hope this video made those people very happy, very proud of their choice. Because you do choose to suffer. If you want to be here, you've probably just chosen to suffer, which is great. I love that for you. I've chosen to suffer too. I just don't love it. I just don't love it. In general. But if you have love in your heart and you give it, that just feels awesome. Either way, even if you don't love shit. Even if you have no love for yourself, you just give it all. It feels good. And that's why I identify myself as the actual object, the actual feeling of love itself. So that I don't have to feel bad that, whenever I'm not around anyone, whenever I'm not making videos, whenever I'm not, in my state, I feel like shit. I feel like ass incarnate. And I feel okay with that because, I am love. Love cannot constantly feel love. That wouldn't make sense. But if I am love, it's okay to feel off kilter. Love has no set state of being. And this loves misunderstandings because that's an opportunity to learn. I hope perhaps we've learned something today. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Next time we're doing Ice Tower. We're out of the mushroom times. We're out of the mushroom misunderstandings. Now this puzzle is very, very interesting, and I will get into this next time. But I do enjoy this tower puzzle a lot. In every tower, we're gonna have different puzzles, different ways to navigate and rise. Just like most things in life, guys, there's no one way to rise for anyone. And if you think that, there's just an elevated level of thinking for you in the future. If you want to. All right, guys, I love you. Subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Boutique hotels, I booked that cause the brain Cornell. Poolside D&D, no sale. The sunset looks so pastel. The honey packs for a little stamina. Treat it like 24 hours in a month. Don't know what this life will bring. If you're stressed out, let me hear you sing.